Hello everyone, and welcome back to FilmBook Review, an official YouTube channel of FilmBook. Featured in Google News, IMDb's news desk, and a member of the Critics' Choice Association, FilmBook is an entertainment industry news website that reports on the film and television show industries in the United States and across the globe. Today on FilmBook Review, I'll be reviewing the film The Drover's Wife, The Legend of Molly Johnson, a movie that screened at the 2021 South by Southwest Film Festival. The Drover's Wife, The Legend of Molly Johnson is directed by Lee Perkel, written by Lee Perkel, and stars Rob Collins, Sam Reed, Jessica DeGao, Malachi Dower Roberts, and Tammy McIntosh. This is The Drover's Wife, The Legend of Molly Johnson movie review, and there will be spoilers. If you like our movie reviews, please like this, The Drover's Wife, The Legend of Molly Johnson film review, as that helps us out with YouTube's algorithm, and consider subscribing. Once subscribed, click the bell notification box, and you are all set. Please also consider becoming one of our patrons on Patreon at patreon.com/filmbook. Reckoning with one's past to protect one's future is a key to survival. In many cases, especially with regards to the West's historical expansion, that means facing unsettling truths and determining how to cope with/atone for them. It's a near never-ending struggle, or at least it will be until all has been reconciled. Such struggles create the core of The Drover's Wife, The Legend of Molly Johnson, actor-director Lee Perkel's fine Australian western that wrestles with heritage, identity, and the personal struggle for independence. In the Australian bush at the tail end of the 19th century, Mrs. Molly Johnson, Lee Perkel, toils in the dust of her family's small plot of land while her husband is out driving livestock. Despite being very pregnant and having 4 young children to look after, Molly manages with little hassle, as she effortlessly demonstrates in an opening scene by shooting down a wild bull with such tenacity. Her eldest son, Danny, Malachi Dower Roberts, looks up to her in admiration of her endless strength. But unbeknownst to Danny and his siblings, Molly is hiding a secret that causes a great deal of trepidation. It's something that the gossipy townspeople of Everton and their newly appointed sheriff, Sam Reed, are starting to catch wind of, and it's something that could lead to Molly losing her children forever. To complicate things even further, besides the fact that she'll have to deliver her baby by herself, an escaped Aboriginal convict named Yadaka, Rob Collins, suddenly appears on her property and pleads for sanctuary, all while harboring secrets of his own. Over the course of the remaining days, Molly, Danny, and Yadaka grow closer together, but uncover new revelations about each other that will forever change their lives. Working off a screenplay based on her own theatrical adaptation of the Henry Lawson short story, which she had originally staged in Sydney back in 2016, Perkel uses Lawson's work and its women versus nature conflict as a solid genre foundation. Through both Mark Wareham's wide-angled, washed-out cinematography and editor Danny Cooper's posh-off for time lapses, Perkel captures both the grit of life in the outback as well as its stark and vast beauty, not to mention an intimate dive into Molly's psyche, which makes for an occasionally ethereal viewing experience. Of course, the cherry on top is the eclectic score, whose heavy guitar riffs give off a sumptuous hint of its spaghetti western influences. However, Perkel adds many a layer to The Drover's Wife by turning it into both an examination of Australia's racial politics and a treatise on domestic violence. Perkel, who herself is of Indigenous Australian descent, places Molly's struggles squarely at the intersection of these issues, which in turn highlights not just the messiness of oppression, but also how these forces are used in tandem to uphold white supremacist colonialism. Before Molly's past is ever fully revealed, and she's put at odds with the bush's white ruling class, she's looked down upon by townspeople and travelers alike simply for being the combo of a woman and a poor farmer. Even her supposed allies, like the sheriff's wife, Jessica DeGao, aren't always in her corner due to their privileged obliviousness, a dialectical jab at the first-wave feminism of the era. Her entire existence is one of vulnerability, and Perkel does not shy away from the various graphic outcomes such a position affords her. Yet, that doesn't mean Molly ever gives up without a fight, as Perkel embodies her bushwoman farmer role with quiet glares, ferocious fury, and weary determination. Unfortunately, Despite its sharp themes and spiky depictions, The Drover's Wife can't help but occasionally languish in a formal rigidity. Perkel's direction is daring and bold for the most part, which makes it all the more disappointing when she pumps the brakes. Perhaps it was a precautionary measure in lieu of reaching a wider audience, but it also makes the less striking parts more noticeably so. Regardless, The Drover's Wife is still rich enough to satisfy genre fans and adventurous newcomers alike. Perkel proves that she's a talented writer who can imbue her directorial work with the same thematic depth, making for impressive neo-Western fare. And that brings us to the conclusion of this The Drover's Wife, The Legend of Molly Johnson movie review. I would love to hear your thoughts on it below in the comment section. If you liked what you heard during this review, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for viewing, and you can watch one of these reviews next.